Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, what exactly is P0C73? In simple terms, it stands for Battery Coolant Pump Performance. Your Tesla's brain, the vehicle computer, has detected that the battery coolant pump isn't working as it should. The pump is either running slower than commanded, or it's not moving the coolant at the expected flow rate. This is a critical component because it's responsible for circulating coolant to keep your high-voltage battery at its optimal operating temperature. Proper temperature management is key to battery health, performance, and longevity. So this isn't an error you want to ignore. First things first, let's find this pump. On most Tesla models, like the Model 3 and Model Y, the battery coolant pump is located under the frunk, which is the front trunk. You'll typically find it nestled near the coolant reservoir. It's part of a larger assembly often called the super manifold or octavalve, depending on your vehicle's generation. Getting to it involves removing some trim panels and the frunk tub, but it's generally accessible with a bit of work. Now, for the diagnosis. How do we confirm the pump is the problem? The most effective way is to use a capable scan tool that can access Tesla's diagnostic data. You can also enter service mode directly on your vehicle's screen. Once you're in, you'll want to look for live data related to the cooling system. Specifically, you're looking for the battery coolant pump's commanded RPM versus its actual RPM. If the computer is telling the pump to run at, say, 3000 RPM, but the sensor is reading a much lower number, or even 0, that's a clear sign of a problem. Another key piece of data is the coolant flow rate. If the RPMs seem okay, but the flow rate is low, it points to a different issue. This brings us to the two most common causes for a P0C73 code. The first, and most straightforward, is a failed pump. These electric pumps can wear out over time. The internal motor might fail, or the electronics that control it can go bad. If your scan data shows 0 RPM when the pump should be running, it's very likely the pump itself needs to be replaced. The second common cause is air trapped in the cooling system. This is a bit trickier. Air pockets can get stuck in the lines, or in the pump itself, creating what is known as cavitation. This means the pump is spinning, but it's just churning air instead of moving liquid. As a result, the flow rate sensor detects little to no coolant movement, and the computer throws the P0C73 code. This often happens after the cooling system has been serviced, like after a coolant change or if a component was replaced and the system wasn't properly bled. Your scan tool might show the pump is spinning at the correct RPM, but the flow rate is still way too low. So, let's talk about the fix. If the diagnosis points to a dead pump, the solution is to replace it. This involves draining the coolant, disconnecting the hoses and electrical connector, unbolting the old pump, and installing the new one. It's a job you can do yourself if you're comfortable with it, but it can be messy, so be prepared with a catch pan for the coolant. If you suspect trapped air is the culprit, you'll need to perform a coolant system bleed procedure. Tesla has a specific service routine for this, which you can usually activate through service mode or a good diagnostic tool. This procedure cycles the pumps and valves in a specific sequence to push any trapped air out of the system and into the coolant reservoir, where it can escape. You might need to run this procedure several times to get all the air out. Make sure you keep an eye on the coolant level in the reservoir and top it up as needed during the process. Once you've either replaced the pump or bled the system, clear the P0C73 code and take the car for a drive. Monitor the live data again to ensure the pump RPM and flow rate are now within the expected range. The error shouldn't return if the root cause has been fixed. And that's a wrap on troubleshooting Tesla code P0C73. It might seem intimidating, but with the right approach, you can figure it out. Whether it's a faulty pump or just some stubborn air, you now have the knowledge to tackle it. Thanks so much for watching. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more DIY repair guides and Tesla tips. Drop any questions you have in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.